The Great Oregon Steam Up kicks into high gear this weekend.
Yeah, so this year the 54th annual event celebrates mechanical history at the Pearland Heritage Park down in Marion County, where Kohr has a live look this morning. Joining us right now with the preview here, Kohr, I love these engines. I feel they really throw it back in time.
Oh, totally, you and I love these both. These are awesome. We're standing right next to a 1913 International harvester that would have been useful in the farm fields of more than 100 years ago. I have Nate with me here from the Oregon Powerland Museum. Talk to me a little bit about this briefly before we get on this and start driving it. Big wheels, big flywheel here.
Yeah.
You say this was the space shuttle of its day, right?
It sure was, yeah. This really revolutionized farm life back in the day, going from horse-drawn era. It was built in 1913, so just predates World War I.
What is this big wheel here now for?
That's a big belt pulley, so you could use that to drive implements out in the field. You pull up in the field and you could run a wheat harvester, a threshing machine, water pump, or maybe even a sawmill.
So it had a lot of flexibility kind of built into it. And up in front there, look at the radiator, right? I don't know a lot about cars, but I know what a radiator does. It cools the, and that's about as simple a radiator as it gets, right?
That's right, yeah. That's called a screen radiator, and it just uses water that trickles over that screen. No engine fan needed, so it just passes air through there and cools that engine.
Let's drive it. Come on, Tim. Let's go in the back here because this is really cool. Tim will operate the thing. I get to steer, and the steering mechanism is really cool. Check this out. Come on around here, back here. Check this out. You got a lever that he's going to pull. Go ahead anytime. You're good. Oh, there she goes, right? You got to kind of watch it. The Great Oregon Steam Up is down here in Brooks for the next 2 weekends. This is a gas-powered rig that we're in right now. A little bit faster. It's a gas-powered rig that we are in. They have a lot of steam-powered things that they have going on up here as well. And Nate, just again, some of the things that'll be on the next 2 weekends are what?
Yeah, so we have a steam-powered sawmill out here that we cut all of our own lumber for the different museums out here. We got a blacksmith shop that we're building hardware with on the forges. We have a steam-powered railroad crane that can lift 160 tons.
There's a steam-powered crane this week.
Right.
I have never seen that.
Yep, we got a miniature train rides, trolley rides, some trolleys from all over the United States and the world.
Swing it around here, right? Sorry. Yeah. Well, it's a cool show. There is as much history here. All these pieces of equipment and these farm pieces of equipment all have a little bit of history lesson that comes with them, and it's really cool look back maybe more than 100 years ago into how they did farming and all the rest of that stuff back in the day. 1913 International Harvester, 20 horsepower, single cylinder engine, a hit and miss engine you call this. That's really cool. I'll just bring it back in a little bit. We could go on here all morning, but I'll just tell you the Great Oregon Steam Up is here in Brooks for the next 2 weekends. Whoops, turn it back. Anything, please.
Is there not power steering on this thing?
Yeah. There is no power steering. No, this is my power is about as power as the steering is. There it is.
Great. Well, Kohr, I expect you to drive that back up to Portland later today.
Yeah.
That looks like a lot of fun. A great way to
celebrate. I'll be there next year.
That's awesome.
Good.
You know, boys and their toys, right?
We're so predictable sometimes.
So
predictable.
much good history too. I just love seeing those big old machines that they used to use
and seeing how they work. You can actually see them in action.
And they still work too.
Yeah, so. Really cool. Really cool.
Stood the test of time.
This is true. This is true. Well, if you're stepping out the door now, maybe taking the dog for a walk, how's it looking outside?